brought to you by Bethel School of Technology. Learn more at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman. Research says the best thing that you can do to make more money is not upskilling. Research says the best thing to make more money is not to necessarily change jobs. Research says that the best thing to make money is not move to a certain state. I could keep going and going and going and going. Research, and by the way, beyond research, I just think anecdotal evidence, and I completely agree with this position, is that the best strategy for making more money is to be happier. Now, what do we mean by that? That is not this. It's not, you had a really bad morning, you got a ticket on the way to work, or your car broke down on your way to work, or something inconvenient happened, and it really sucks. It's not just going, I'm going to be happy. This is not some weird, like mind hack. Because let's be honest, you're not happy when any of those inconveniences or bad things happen. So the word happiness needs to be applied here to a macro view. In other words, if I was playing, I'll use a personal example. If I was playing pickleball and I broke my foot, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy because it hurts. I'm not happy because I probably did something stupid, Bob, trying to be Superman. I'm not happy because I may have to go through surgery, therapy. I got to wear a cast. I got to do all the things. I can't play pickleball for a while. I'm not happy. All right. But if you were to say to me in the midst of that scenario, Ken, are you happy with your life? My answer is going to be, yeah, I'm very happy with my life. So what am I doing there? I'm looking at the big picture. I can have moments of unhappiness, but still be happy. And that's what we're talking about. So it turns out that happiness with the big picture is what drives success as it relates to making money. In other words, many of you have heard the phrase, money can't buy happiness. And some people go, yes, it can. All right? So the age-old, does money buy happiness, is now challenged by happiness allows you to make more money. So it's the chicken or the egg. So let's just break this down. Fascinating stuff. By the way, the average salary that Americans say that would make them happy is $94,696. I always crack up at the specificity of these numbers. Like, really? How did we come up with $94,696? That's for ADHD. We're not going to go down that road, but that's the number. And by the way, these surveys come out almost multiple times a year, so you can always find new data, but there you go. Now, that number is based on margin. So anytime you hear a number like that, they've polled people in this position, in this particular study, this was moneyzine.com, and they surveyed 1,200 people. Okay, so that, statistically, that's a viable study. But the point is that they polled 1,200 people, and the number that came up with that was the average number is people said, well, if I made 95,000, some people said, oh, if I made 105, and in their mind, these people are going through their life and they're looking at their expenses, and it's very simple, and they're picking a number based on margin. So if I went down the list to the people in the control room, which I will not do, and I were to say, give me amount of salary that would make you happy, we are gauging in our minds margin. So that's where that number comes from, right? And let me point out, margin means freedom, okay? So here's what we know. When we look at money versus happiness. In other words, the more money I make, am I happier, or is it the more happier I make, how happy I am, geez, I can't talk, how happy I am drives how much money I make. Well, according to Tammy Muller, who is a positive psychology coach and has studied happiness for the past 5 years. She says, happy people make more money, have better relationships, are more successful in life, not vice versa. And so let's look at maybe one of the ultimate experts on this. It's Arthur Brooks. He teaches a Harvard course about happiness. Okay. And when he walks through his study, and he has, and he's kind of known for his 4 areas of happiness: faith, some sense of meaning, faith, how you view the world. Like, are you just randomly here? Then we talk about family, and then relationships outside of family, that would be friends. And then he talks about work, meaning in work. And those would be the foundational factors of happiness, according to Arthur Brooks. Okay. But the reality is, I think that Muller's right in that when I am happier in my family life, I have the opportunity to go to work free and clear. My brain is not muddled. My heart is not hurt. And I can focus. I mean, I can't tell you how the greatest of jobs will crumble. The greatest of jobs do not matter. No amount of salary in the world, no amount of money in the world heals a broken heart. No amount of money in the world calms a fearful brain. It just doesn't. So, what does it mean then to be happy in my terms? Pretty simple today. Start with your family. What changes in your life if you're not happy, if you're not successful financially? What changes, first and foremost, should be made with your family life? I'd start there. What's not working? Why is it not working? Where is the unhappiness in my family? I'd start with that. Next, same thing with friendships. You spend so much time with family and friends. Where are you not happy? Why are you not happy? What's going on? What's causing the unhappiness? What's causing the stress? Figure it out. By the way, many times you're going to have to make different choices with your friends. And many times you're going to have to put up at least some boundaries with family. You can't choose family, but you can choose boundaries. You're just going to have to get healthy and make sure the people around you are healthy. Family and friends being the core. I absolutely believe that you need to have a sense of purpose and faith. If you're not a person of faith, you got to at least reason with, why am I here? And then ultimately, you need to be happy in your work. You spend so much time at work. If you're not happy at work, that is coming home with you. And so those 4 areas, I agree with Brooks. You've got to be happy in those areas. And that's making choices, putting up boundaries, and creating happiness in those 4 areas. And then what that does is it sets you free. Sets you free. It removes all the shackles that unhappiness brings. And guess what happens? You have nothing holding you back. You're moving up. You're making more money. I absolutely think more happiness leads to more money, not the other way around. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Launch your tech career today at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.